Did you know if you doubled 10,000 each year for the next 7 years, you would have 1.28 million? With that in mind, let's talk how you can easily outsmart the sportsbooks and become a millionaire. I'm Tony from Bet Analyst. Let's crack on. It is possible to make a fortune from sports betting, and many have already succeeded. Some of the guys I started mentoring are doing $1 million a year through simple value betting, while others are making a fantastic living. While professional betting is a process which needs learning, it's easy once you know the ropes. You can take it from me, even if you have other life plans, this is a great way to capitalize and gain financial leverage for your future. And for those ready to go all in, there is nothing to stop you. Value betting involves placing bets that are more likely to win than suggested by the bookmaker's odds. Value betting is a betting strategy that gives you an edge over the sportsbooks by finding odds that are higher than they should be. How to find value bets? The most common method is to subscribe to a value betting software. There are loads of services to choose from, and I'll share some later in this video. In short, value betting software scans the betting odds from many sportsbooks, and the EV, the expected value, is created through competition and the varying odds. For example, in a tennis match, let's pretend that the average odds for both player A and player B are being offered at 1.91, which is minus 110 American. However, one bookmaker is offering player B at odds of 2.10. This will be deemed a value bet. To reach this conclusion, the rigorous sportsbook edge is removed. In this instance, 191 and 191 becomes odds of 2 and 2, meaning the best odds of 2.10 offers a 5% betting value. The calculation is simply 2.1 divided by 2. For those starting their journey, let's quickly touch upon the logistics. Firstly, the more loaded betting accounts you have, the better. While some pros just target a few betting platforms, you will need a lot of third-party accounts, and you're not at that stage. It is important to understand, even if you have the odds in your favour, there will be variance. Let's face it, now and then, people walk out of casinos winning when the odds are against them. With that in mind, chances are you will want to work with a separate betting bank. By doing so, it will be easier to track your progress. Think of the numbers and be realistic with expectancy. If you are betting 1% of your bank with a 5% EV, placing 1,000 bets per month, that's 33 per day, would be worth a 50% increase. While it's a slow process at the beginning, think of the compounded interest method. Everyone started with a limited budget. This part is important, how to increase the longevity of your betting accounts. As we all know, sportsbooks don't like winners. Once they detect superior betting knowledge, they will limit or close your account. To increase the lifespan of your betting, do this. On opening, butter up your accounts with standard bets. I would suggest you do this for a few weeks until the account has had its first risk review. Learn to act like an everyday punter. Stay on the website. Act like you have been upped by some silly offer, maybe the casino. Think locality. And by that I mean, do not bet on obscure leagues. For example, if you're in the US, betting Romanian handball or Bulgarian football will set off the alarm bells. While it depends on the sportsbook, successfully betting player props could damage your accounts quickly. When possible, concentrate on betting totals, the match, the game, handicaps, and maybe first half. From the stance of the sportsbooks, these are everyday bets and fit into the pattern of a leisure bet. Betting near to the start of a game can be clever. The reason is the sportsbook's CLV, the closing line value, in that they won't spot you are acquiring an advantage. My preferred choice to staying undetected is in-play betting. While winning accounts will eventually get noticed, sportsbooks won't have time to compare odds against the competition. At the end of the day, your betting accounts are valuable. You need to think about the optimum extraction process. Understanding software. You cannot bet blind. Software is your main asset for finding value bets, but to get the most out of it, you will need a proper understanding. Most value betting platforms have settings which can help you cut out the crap, stuff that you shouldn't be betting. However, that's not enough on its own, so pay attention to the following. Firstly, value betting softwares tend to use algorithmic odds. This means they are taking the average odds from a bunch of sports books, removing the vigorish and setting the target odds, the benchmark from those numbers. This is not efficient. For a better balance, you should cross-check using Pinnacle odds minus the Vigorish. After all, it's the sharpest sportsbook in the world. Or alternatively, you could use Betfair odds when there's deep liquidity. When testing value betting software, we have seen many cases where suggested positive EV bet is lower odds than those being offered on Pinnacle. While I am by no means suggesting the Pinnacle system is unbeatable, it's the best benchmarking tool you're going to get. Arbitrage players should be able to confirm the same, with one I know giving over 220,000 to Pinnacle while winning 1.1 million from the Sportsbooks. Suffice to say, he would have had 220,000 more in his bank account if he hadn't taken on Pinnacle. Just a quick PS, if you are using Pinnacle, make sure you are logged in or getting the odds feed from an agent. Those on the PIN platform odds comparison websites are often delayed. Secondly, you will often see a number of bets on the same game being offered repeatedly. By that I mean the outright odds will affect the handicap line, which in turn affects all the alternative handicap lines. If the software is pumping out a bunch of these bets on one game, you should only be taking one. Thirdly, for God's sake, never sign up to a sportsbook through a link offered by a matched or value betting software. While they will earn an acquisition fee, you are informing the sportsbooks of your intention. Let me quickly just mention a few of the value betting platforms that you should consider. Rebel Betting is easy to use and it's ideal for pre-match. It scans over 1 million odds a minute and links directly to the Sportsbooks website without giving away the show. For in-play betting, you might want to consider TradeMate Sport or BetBurger. Both are established and offer stability. OddsJam is focused on US sport. It's a decent tool and so is unabated. For horse racing, Bookie Bastion seems to be the preferred choice. While I've never tested it myself, plenty of value bettors are using it. And personally speaking, my preferred choice is Pinnacle Odds Dropper. For those of you with some value betting knowledge, tracking the falling odds of Pinnacle is obviously optimum. Pod is super fast and it shows you the no vig odds which you need to beat. Open the game and you will see graphs with both odds and limit movement. The latter is particularly informative tool to understand the strength of the betting market, which in turn saves your betting accounts. Check it out for yourself. Pinnacle Odds Dropper is our preferred choice. To get more out of the game, you might want to learn how to use parlay betting. By multiplying your advantage, you will win more. Figure out which sportsbook is good for what, and you're going to do this by ongoing testing. If you're going to do each way thieving on horses, try and do it in the betting shops. Bear in mind, the stronger the betting market, the more accurate the odds. I would suggest looking for plus 5% EV on everyday bets, but you can lower that to 3% on tops games and sports, such as NFL or Premier League. As professional gamblers, we will even go lower because all we want is churn. Target sportsbooks which have a good reputation for paying, and on that note, make sure all your KYC is completed before betting. This will save you issues at payout. If you're being offered a free bet bonus, like if your first bet loses, you get a free bet to the same amount, shoot higher with the odds. In effect, you're getting more out of the free roll of the dice by taking something like 4+. Make life easier on yourself. Sign up to a number of value betting softwares. They all offer something. As mentioned, Pod is a must-have. And I would also suggest that you make sure you've got enough monitors so you can, log into accounts pretty quickly, right? It's all about efficiency. I won't get ever into third-party betting accounts other than to say using bank transfers and attached payment cards from MyStreet banks is optimum. While the likes of Revolut can work in some jurisdictions, they're on the Sportsbooks watch list. As for e-wallets, PayPal is another option when offered, but the likes of Skrill and Netel are not what they used to be. And then comes detection. Sportsbooks can identify your device and IP. From what I understand, using a different device for each set of accounts is standard, and so is using data cards for different IP. For the high-end user, proxy dice and multi-logging are interesting. Also, I would suggest consider taking legal advice. Getting a lawyer's legal opinion could be worthwhile. Signed contracts or agreements could be useful, and depending on your location, think about any tax implications. This channel is here to help you win at sports betting. All you've got to do is subscribe to stay informed. So that's a wrap. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. You're through to boot camp again. Catch you in the next one soon. Take care. Bye-bye.